I am on day 6 of a parasite cleanse. In this video I want to tell you why I'm doing it, what my limited knowledge around parasites are, and how it's making me feel. Which up until today was the word that we can't say on here, that basically means you want to end yourself. My understanding, it's really complex, parasite cleanses. One, because we're not told anything about it, which certainly not in Western countries. My understanding is it's very normal out here to do parasite cleanses, and I know it's totally mainstream in Russia to do parasite cleanses, but in the West we're told that, oh no, we don't really have parasites out here. And I would suggest that that's because they don't want us to know about parasites, because if you know how to get rid of parasites, then you know how to get rid of pretty much everything that's going to give you a shorter life expectancy, but obviously they make lots of money off. There'd be a lot less pharmaceuticals popped if people knew about parasites. As my understanding is, and it is only an understanding, obviously it's based on the evidence that I've seen, but this is the world we live in, isn't it, where everything we're told is a lie, so we have to try and work out things ourselves and through others and help each other through it. So it's hard to be certain of these things, but it seems, the evidence seems to suggest that most things that people fear, the diseases, are actually caused by parasites. Now, of course, for the sake of YouTube, this is just satirical, this is for entertainment. Of course, our doctors don't talk about parasites for a reason. Of course, they don't really cause any disease, and they're not really anything you should ever think about. So I don't know why I'm even making this video other than to entertain you for satirical purposes. Always listen to your doctor, never take any advice off me. I'm just trying to entertain you. So with that said, my understanding is when you start doing a parasite cleanse, it's if you kill the parasites, it's actually quite detrimental, because they release all their goo. They're such awful things. They release their heavy metals. I mean, why are they full of heavy metals if they're just genuine organisms? A video I'm going to clip onto the end suggests that they're demons, and seeing as they look like this, oh no, I don't edit these videos, so there won't be a picture there, but it'll be on the thumbnail. I think there could be something in that. So apparently when you kill them, they release all the heavy metals. So I think that's what happened yesterday, because I had such a, oh my god, I had such a I do not want to be here day yesterday. Spent the day in bed. It was a bad one. What am I noticing? Right, so I'm sure most of you are aware of, so there's this toxoplasma or toxoplasma, which is a type of parasite that's really well known, which I'm not going to tell the whole story because most people already know it, but basically it takes over rats, it controls rats, it makes them live dangerously, so cats eat them because it can only breed in a cat's stomach. And then once it gets into humans, it makes you take massive risks. So I imagine I'm covered in stuff. And if they do tests on somebody who dies in a high adrenaline thing, so paragliding or on a fast speed motorbike, they pretty much always find this toxoplasm in them, which because what the toxoplasm is trying to do is trying to get the human to kill itself, so that they in a very violent, dramatic fashion, i.e. getting smashed up on a bike, and then they explode, the human, and then the parasites can be eaten again by the rats. It's all of this cycle where they take over their host in order to reproduce. And then there's a lot of anecdotal claims around people doing parasite cleanses who thought they were gay, and suddenly they're not gay. Now, I've been for ages just sexually calming down, and I mean it's not even really about sex, it's more about love addiction and seeking another to complete you. Well, I've done a lot of self-work, and I've basically I have no desire for another in my life at all. I have no fantasy, I don't kid myself that another could add anything to my life. And because I think, particularly where we are at now as humanity, and how divided everything is, and how fucked up everyone is, and how robotic everything is, there is no, you know, if you are sovereign and conscious, there is no benefit to being in a relationship anymore. Like, it is only neediness playing out now. Anyway, that's not really the point of the video. But basically, I'm totally past that story. So therefore, the only reason to meet up with somebody would be purely sexual. And that just isn't really a pull for me anymore. Like, the only reason I used to be a sex addict is because I was actually seeking love. But obviously that's just impossible to find in this world, particularly in the gay world. Anyway, so, you know, I mean, I used to wank 12 times a day. And I was just, you know, mad for it. And I'd basically got to the point where for the last 3-4 weeks, I'd been having one wank a day at about 1-2 p.m, which was when I was having my first joint of the day. And, you know, I'd go into the fantasy of like, oh, I might meet someone, oh, I might do this. But it was, you know, that was never going to happen. Like, I'm so past the point of actually meeting someone. But I would still go into a fantasy of it every now and again, or once a day. Anyway, the last 5 days, I think today is day 6 of NoFap. And it's not because I've really tried. I just have no pull. It's so bizarre. So the first day that I didn't fap, I, you know, had my joint and then got my phone, took my pants down. I was like, this is what I do. And I knew I didn't really want to do it, although I've known that for ages. But it's just this, you know, pattern that helps me get through the day. I was just like, no, I don't want to do this. I remember it was like this conscious thought of, well, now's the time to do NoFap, you know, like, why would you push yourself to do this when you know that NoFap is going to be hugely beneficial to you? But it wasn't even really that, it was just more I didn't want to do it. And then day 2, I don't think I even went through the process. So yesterday was day 5 and it was a challenging day. It was like, I dealt with yesterday by just giving up on life. Like, everything that makes me small. I smoked in the day again for the first time in quite a while, 2 weeks. Maybe not 2 weeks, definitely a week. I've only had 2 or 2.5 joints a night for the last 4 nights. And again, it's not, like, I'm not trying, I'm just allowing. So yesterday was a total give up on life day, and it was like, just do whatever you can to get through it day. And I did try to have a couple of wanks, but I just couldn't do it. Now, I'm not going to say already, oh, it's changed my sexuality. I mean, there's definitely no pull towards women happening. Like, I just can't imagine how that could ever happen, because I just find them so repulsive. Not really how they look, more just how they act and how stupid they are. And how they smell, like all the perfume and their hair products and makeup, and just everything's just so inauthentic when it comes to women. I genuinely find them repulsive. So I can't see how I'll ever start finding women attractive. And I don't really want to. Like I say, I don't seek a partner. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. Like, theoretically, it'd be kind of cool to love a woman and have a child and all that. But I don't want to mix genetics. So, and all white women are fucked. Like, they're so libtarded. Not all, like, there's a few that watch my videos. Zoe, you're seriously cool. Not so sure about you, Rachel. Very needy. My goodness. So this is a member. I shouldn't really be saying this from a money point of view, but I just have to be honest. I just so needy. Like, she's commenting on my Not Today Satan videos, which get hundreds of comments saying, you haven't read my comment. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen it, chill out. And then I got another one like, you still haven't read my comments. So I was just like, stop being so fucking needy and entitled. So no doubt I'll lose that membership. But I'm not pandering. Like, for £10 a month, I'm not fucking pandering to your, oh my God, it's so bad. Like, it's the lack of, I've had Rachel on this before, the lack of responsibility she takes in her life. Like, she blames the powers that be for the fact that she got vaccinated. So I've mentioned, I've done this before in a video where, and she reacted really well to it. But my God, and they're always the worst. Like these, so you know, she's a big supporter, she's a member, and she's like, I've hyped, I've liked, whoa. But these people always turn out to be the psychopaths. You know, the ones that basically want your attention because they put you on some sort of pedestal, and then get really pissed off when they don't receive it. You know, I've had 2 psychopaths from my YouTube, and yeah, she's showing exactly the same traits. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. Let me recalibrate. That's going to be it for now, because I'm only on day 6. Now, this is something that I really want to document. I guess the first 3 days I didn't really... Oh, yeah, so I should just point out, like, I have done parasite cleanses before, once before, I think. But I didn't do it properly. I think I took it like once, maybe twice a day. You're meant to take it 3 times a day. This is the potion, the natural potion, full of wormwood and stuff like that gets rid of them. I don't think I took it enough, and also I was eating crap every night. I was eating like 3 bags of crisps and a bag of biscuits at night, and doing a parasite cleanse at the same time. It was just mental. Whereas this time, I'm not saying there's no sugar in my life. I mean, this is a bloody sugarcane juice, but it's natural. You know, I'm not eating any, I'm not eating crisps and chocolate and crap. And I can feel an effect. I'm pretty sure, I mean, that wanking thing has to be linked. It just has to be. I mean, I suppose it could just be a development thing, but it seems like too much of a coincidence. Anyway, I'm going to document this. I think it's a really important journey. I'm going to attach a video here. It's about 12 minutes long. This is what inspired me to do it again. And yeah, just really powerful. And even look like all the Jesus quotes and that, I just think everything in this video is absolutely fascinating. So yeah, let me know if you do too. I'm not saying any of the following video that you're about to see is true. I just think it's interesting. In fact, for the purposes of this platform, I'm sharing it just to show you how stupid some people can be. This person doesn't listen to her doctor and makes decisions herself. Absolutely crazy. Of course, you should never do that. Always listen to doctors. I don't think parasites are even a thing. But I'm going to show it you just to show you how crazy these people are.
This is a parasite under a microscope. So is this. And so is this. I believe that parasites are physical manifestations of demons in the spirit realm, or some kind of spiritual conduit. Do you want to know why? Because Jesus cast the demons into the herd of pigs and they jump into the ocean. Pigs are extremely infested with all different kinds of parasites. They're also labeled an unclean animal. They're not meant to be food. So to me, there's a clear link between parasites and demons, and the world is starting to wake up to the fact that most illnesses, both physical and mental, are caused by parasites. It's not coincidence, at least in my opinion, that America is probably the sickest country in the world, both physically and mental health wise. And we're pretty much the only country that doesn't parasite cleanse. They tell us that we don't need to, that America doesn't have them, all types of nonsense like that. And that is simply not the truth. CIA documents just came out from the 60s that literally link parasites to cancer. So they'll have this information out in the open and tell you to your face that it's not true.
Tumor is working on keeping you alive. Cancer is not even an illness. Cancer is a symptom. We have so many toxins in our system that would kill us. So the body builds a bubble, a tumor, and collects all these poisons and keeps the poisons on one spot where they don't do harm. That's a tumor. So the cancer is basically your friend. So that's why it's so dangerous if anybody comes with a needle biopsy and pinches into this tumor and releases the toxins into the system. And all of a sudden they find you have a very fast-growing, very aggressive cancer that you didn't have before the needle biopsy.
We are intelligently designed and our bodies want us to be healthy. It's not just us that God designed this way. Pearls are formed when an irritant such as a parasite or a piece of shell enters a mollusk and becomes trapped, triggering a natural defense mechanism. It coats this intruder with layers of calcium carbonate and proteins, which builds up over years to create a pearl. So it's forming a shell just like a tumor over a parasite or an intruder. I am certainly not promoting astrology. I don't research astrology. I just knew this from seeing it out and about. It's an insane truth in plain sight. So the sign for Cancer is a crab. The Bible forbids us from eating shellfish. Why? because crabs and other shellfish are bottom feeders. They clean up the environment. They're like vacuums. They're full of parasites. But I find this one especially interesting because it's a hard shell full of parasites, and it's called cancer. But it's not just cancer. I really think that it's pretty much every single illness, again, both physical and mental. I posted my parasite protocol on my Facebook a few times, and I see a lot of these comments. I followed your parasite protocol you shared and the pills you took. I'm on week 2, and it has helped me so much. Actually insane to see decades-long issues resolve so quickly. And if you look up the things that parasites are responsible for, it's actually insane. I know people who were gay for years and they did a parasite heavy metal cleanse and suddenly they were just straight. I've known people that were Islamic that did a parasite cleanse, turned to God, all types of things like cancer. I've seen herpes, STDs, just generalized pain, migraines, literally almost anything that you can think of, anxiety, depression. Toxoplasma gondii is a type of parasite that's carried by cats. They are estimated to currently infect at least 1/3 of the population, if not more. Some of the symptoms of that specific one: BPD, suicidal thoughts, intrusive thoughts, sexual promiscuity, risk-taking behaviors, lack of impulse control. The list goes on and on and on. You guys can do your own research. But my point is, this is a huge problem, and it seems like it's only a problem in America. So I'm going to give you guys my simple, natural, biblical parasite heavy metal cleanse. I've given it before, but a lot of people are asking me to update it, so we'll do that. Just to make a few things clear though, if you're pregnant or nursing, wait until you're finished. Don't do it right now. I'm not a medical professional. I've just done a lot of crunchy holistic research myself, and I tried a few things, and this is what works for me, and I've seen other people say that it worked great for them. So do your own research. This is not medical advice. Just sharing what I personally do and what I use and find to be effective. And lastly, this is not an atonement or like going to make you spiritually clean or something like that. The final atonement was Christ on the cross. He died, rose from the dead, and he is at the right hand of the Father. He intercedes for us because he always lives. So that is not what this is about at all. Please do not think that this is like asceticism or something like that. This is to help with physical and mental ailments, and hopefully like save you some money. Everything I'm going to show you, I made an Amazon link out of. I'll drop the link below. You do not have to buy through my link. You can just like look these up if you're more comfortable. If you do, thank you. If you don't, no hard feelings at all. I have no affiliation with these brands, and I buy all of this stuff with my own money. Revelation 22:2, the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. This is the ESV. In the King James Version, it says the herbs. So the herbs will heal the nations. Herbs are not a bad thing, you guys. It's not like witchcraft. The Bible says in several places that God put the herbs here for medicine. Everything I'm about to tell you, you're going to do for 30 to 60 days. You have to listen to your body. I can't give like a one size fits all thing. I'm not even like a medical person, but just from seeing what everybody kind of does, that's what I've taken away, and that's what I do. You will know when you stop passing these things. I promise you, you will know. So 30 to 60 days once a year. And then I like to do like 2-week maintenance cycles once or twice a year, just to like keep up on it, because that's what they do in foreign countries. So first off, you have to make sure that your lymph is active and moving, and that your digestive system is moving. You need to make sure that you're consistently hydrated and going to the bathroom. If you're not, I know a lot of people aren't, the 15-day cleanse by Mia Amor is really good. I like this one. You can do whatever kind you want to do to get things moving. The big thing is to make sure that everything in your body is moving, and your body can actually like push toxins and dead parasites out in different ways. So if we kill them, you don't want to leave them circulating, because it's just going to make you feel crappy and not really help that much. They need to come out. So make sure that you're going to the bathroom. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. A sauna is really good. If you can't do a sauna, I love doing like hot baths or detox baths before I shower. Dry brushing is a really good alternative. I'm a huge fan of castor oil packs. So what you do is before you go to bed, take castor oil. This one is the Genesis brand. It has to be organic, and it has to be in a dark glass bottle. This is my favorite one I've tried. I've tried like 5 or 6 over time, and I feel like this one works the best. So I pour a bunch of it over my stomach and in my belly button, and then you rub it into your side where your liver is, because it's going to assist your liver as well as help you detox in general. And then you want to take a cotton cloth of some kind, whether that's like a t-shirt, a towel, a cloth, whatever. Just make sure it's cotton and cover the area where you put it and leave it on overnight. This helps with detox, energy levels. Castor oil is amazing for breaking things up. Barbara O'Neill says that she had several patients that were able to break up like fibroids and all different things by putting castor oil on. It pulls things out. So that's why it's so important to have a dark glass bottle, because if it's plastic, you don't want to pull like the BPAs out of the plastic bottle and then put them on your body. Do you see what I'm saying? So if it's dark glass, it can't do that. If everything's already moving, I really, really like the Venatura Wormwood Black Walnut and Cloves supplement. This is going to be your anti-parasitic. This is what kills the parasites. So the way I personally do this is when I eat dinner, I'll take 1 dose of this after dinner. The idea is that parasites are feeding on whatever you're eating. You eat the dinner, wait like 10-15 minutes, and then take one of these. The parasites like come out of hiding and go to eat your food. This comes in and basically crushes them. This might sound gross, but they explode like slugs. And the reason you want wormwood, black walnut, and cloves is because they kill all 3 life cycles of parasites. And like I said, you don't have to use the Venatura. You could use whatever you have at home, or if there's like a brand that you prefer. I don't like work with the brands. I'm just telling you what I personally use, and I like the ingredients in this one as well as the price and the accessibility. So my logic with this is the top ingredient is wormwood. In Revelation, it says that wormwood falls and makes the waters bitter. And this might be a little bit speculative to some people, but for me, I don't think it is. If anyone's seen the Watch the Waters documentary or saw like all of the Ryan Garcia videos, the word on the street is that all of the waters have parasites in them right now. So what I personally take away from that is that if wormwood falls and makes the waters bitter, do you see what I'm saying? Like wormwood going into the waters, why? Well, wormwood kills parasites. And every time that someone's in an act of judgment in the Bible, they're given wormwood and bitters. In Exodus 12, it says, they shall take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts and the lintel of the houses in which they eat it. They shall eat the flesh that night, roasted on the fire with unleavened bread, and bitter herbs they shall eat. So that's another thing. I personally would not do this if you don't have Jesus Christ in your life, because they're just going to come back worse. You have to stand on a firm foundation as your starting point. So the flesh that this is talking about is the lamb. So we have Christ, the blood on the doorposts, covered in the blood, the unleavened bread, no pride, and bitter herbs. What's going to happen after you take this, you're going to wait about an hour or 2. In that time frame, after you had your dinner and then you take this, do not eat or take any like supplements or medicines or anything like that. Just allow this to kill the parasites. What happens is when the parasites explode, they're full of heavy metals. So heavy metals start circulating and like toxins and like chunks of parasites. So what you have to do is go in with an activated charcoal. So this is your binder, if anybody is unfamiliar with like the lingo around this. So like I said, about an hour or 2, no food, no medicine. You're gonna take a dose of this. This is the now activated charcoal. I like this one because it's like affordable and it's natural. And then same thing, an hour or 2 after the fact, no eating, no medication, no nothing. This is going to soak up all of the nasty junk that the parasites send out into your body. Isaiah 6, I said, woe is me, for I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then one of the seraphim flew to me, having in his hand a burning coal that he had taken with tongs from the altar. And he touched my mouth and said, behold, this has touched your lips, your guilt is taken away, and your sin is atoned for. So again, this is not meant to be like atonement, but we know that all scripture is profitable and usable. So I definitely think that in some way is probably pointing to this idea. Maybe not this exact protocol, but I think it is useful, especially in this situation. And I love this binder. I've tried a couple different other kinds. Like I've tried Diamedicus Earth and stuff, and it leaves me with a headache afterwards. So I just stick with my charcoal. And with all of this said, if you are not eating a really nutrient dense diet, or like you have some kind of deficiency or whatever that you're already aware of, you're going to want to remineralize. And that's going to be specific to each person. I can't give like an all for one type of recommendation. I personally take magnesium. This is the BioEmblem one, and also zinc and a B complex. But like I said, it's going to be specific to you. You have to know your own body, do research where you feel you need to and decide if this is right for you. I'm just making a video about what I personally do, and other people have seen results for this, but at the same time, you have to decide if this is right for you.